Alright, it's time for maybe an update video about what has been going on with everything. I'm not very descriptive in a lot of my videos. Oh, there goes the cat. So, what has been going on, where have I been, and what have I got? As you've all seen, I have my nice iMac G3 here, which is now a slot load. Until I can get the faceplate replaced, which I never will. And I don't really feel like paying for an optical drive. I decided to take my old MacBook that's kind of broken and just swap parts. It's not the same MacBook I've talked about before on video. I'm trying to hide my meds here. It's sweater. But it's the bottom MacBook I have here. I've got 4 different MacBooks. I've got mid-2007. That one's a mid-2007 as well. Mid-2009 and late 2008. Then I have my iBook G3, which I need to make a video about at some point, and my iBook G4. I've got my old first laptop I've ever owned, my old netbook, and then I have the netbook my neighbor gave me and a Windows tablet and did make a video on as well. And I have here is my HP. I also got that as well. It's out of ink. The yellow cartridge got jacked, so I can't scan until it's replaced. I also got a nice mini HP. I need to talk about that in another video as well. I received another iPod Classic that has a bad battery and a damaged screen as well. It's I think it's a 160. No, it's a 120. This one's actually less scratched than mine. Mine's really scratched. And I also have, I've discovered to keep the cats from the trash can in the cabinet. So yeah, then I have a brand new keyboard I haven't talked about either. I don't really review. Razer Synosa Chroma, I think it's called. That's what I've also been using. It's very nice. I wish there was a way to. I wish there was kind of like what the Shift series we had, where you can pull the key mat off. Because I have to turn it upside down and shake it to clear out all the keys. And this mouse is the worst Dell mouse that could come with a Dell ever. I'm not kidding. If anyone else owns this exact same mouse and has the same issues, the issue I have is randomly while I'm using it, it'll disconnect. And no matter how many times I plug it back in the same port, it'll say error. Hardware malfunction. Hardware malfunction. I'm now down to 3 USB ports in the back I can use it with. The other 3, it will not work. All of a sudden, if I plug it back into a previous port that failed with it, it won't recognize. At some point, I'm going to have to change up my mouse again, which I like this one because it's a laser, or it's a, what is this thing? Laser optical, or whatever it's called, yeah. So it's really nice. It's a nice mouse, but it does not work with my Dell. It doesn't give me this problem with any other computers. It's just randomly it disconnects and errors. I don't know what the problem is. This battery's dying quick. And this Dell, I haven't really made any videos about it either. This is my new main machine. The behemoth is in the closet. That's what I've called it. This is a 6th gen Core i7. It had 16 gigs of RAM. It came with a 2 terabyte hard drive. A CD-ROM drive. When I first received this, the optical drive would get stuck. Now it seems to have loosened up a bit, but originally when you would eject, it would click, 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 and it wouldn't open. And then at some point it would click, click, maybe once or twice, and then eject. Now it's working fine. Of course, because this is a piano black finish, I am using my toes. The I/O ports really get scratched, and very, very quickly with this machine. If you can see them, they're kind of right there. They get scratched very quick. It is a Core i6. It has Windows 10 Pro. One thing I've noticed about newer machines, they don't include a product key. So if this motherboard dies, I don't know what key it will have. It says Windows 10 Pro on the back, but I don't know what product key that is. And if you do get a pre-built machine, I recommend, because I don't bother just uninstalling programs, because if something goes wrong, if I don't like one setting I changed on Windows, I reinstall. It's like, I don't like that I changed this folder that I shared, and now I can't unshare it or something, I reinstall Windows. I'm like a complete perfectionist. If something isn't right, I just wipe it. I do have a huge hard drive full of files that if I am wiping Windows, I will unplug that drive so I don't accidentally wipe it. But I recommend if you do get a pre-built machine, or from the, from the manufacturer, I recommend you reinstall Windows, because it came with Norton, and Norton gave me crap, and all the Dell stuff, and eventually at some point the computer would get so slow and sluggish it was horrible. And and another thing is, this machine will give you a headache when trying to reinstall Windows on another drive. In fact, if I unplug the internal hard drive, the machine goes into like this hardware test and then shuts off. It won't even go into the BIOS. There's literally almost no way to get into the BIOS of this machine. It's very, very hard. Every time I try to, I forget, and I just have to keep Googling it. It's a pain. And it's due to, I think, Windows Secure Boot, is it tries to immediately boot into the OS, but because there's no hard drive, it won't boot. Anyway, that'll be a video on its own time. What else? I've got all my disk stacks over here. I'm trying to keep this kind of general, and I'm kind of rant. See what I mean? I rant. I have all my disks. I've got some missing. Some disks have gone bad. Some are still good. I do have in here, I have reorganized. I've got all the external peripherals, power adapters, adapter cables, memory cards, and pens. Lots of compact flash. And I now have a new rule. If I have SD cards, they have to go back in the case, because I've lost too many of these. Too many to speak of. Then I have my nice drawer of phones. Yeah, I don't have any way of organizing this. I really want to do is have a display, but I don't have the time or the place. So essentially all my phones just kind of live in here. I do kind of cycle every 2 to 3 months. I will plug them in and make sure the batteries are still in good health. If not, the battery immediately gets removed and pitched. Then I have in here, it's all my storage and stuff, like iPads, tablets, Nintendos. I've got some papers in here. Oh, there's my mouse mat, so I was wondering where I put those. Right now I have, because I just cleaned out the crap out of my room, so everything is nice and clean now. So now I have a rule, is that if anything is out, if I'm done, immediately put it back, because I have a habit of just leaving stuff out and just not picking it up. I also have a new rule. I'm not allowed to store stuff underneath the bed. Period. At all. The bed was so bad. It was bad. So if there's anything underneath the bed, it's supposed to be a cat and nothing else. So these are all my extra bins from all the cleaning I've done. The Lego models over there I need to take apart and put up. This is the bin of papers. I need to scan every single page and then pitch the papers. This bin is also Legos, and this bin is the keep bin that I need to sort and put stuff away. Oh and yeah, I picked up this nice monitor at Goodwill for like $12. Really nice monitor. The only thing I haven't bothered is cleaning the bottom corner, if that's annoying people. I just don't feel like it. Doesn't really annoy my screen, because I don't really look in the lower right. Oh, I said it right. Hooray! I do get left and rights confused, I'm sorry to say. I'm one of those people. Anyway, I've got my storage up here. Xbox controller. This one has a bad charge port. Unfortunately, I don't feel like fixing it. I need to eat those. Camera, I have a Latitude dock. I keep trying to put this somewhere and I can't find anywhere to put it because it's too big. My iMac would actually fit on top of it. It has a maximum weight of less than 75 pounds. So my iMac is only 40. But my clearance was about a centimeter from the top of this desk. And the lamp was too much and I couldn't push it out of the way. Also, it kind of looked weird anyway. So let's see what else do I got. Camcorder's dying. I have all my floppy disks over here and zip disks in this bin. My toolkits in the upper one up here. All my keyboards. These are all in my closet. All my burnable disks. And then I have, make sure this doesn't show a product key, because that would be bad. And I have all my software, or secondary software, unorganized. And I have all my mostly organized. This is the stuff that I pulled out that I need to put back in organization. But you can see I have my Mac side and games and stuff, and I have mostly Windows stuff over here. This belongs up there. Is there any room for it? Probably not. I actually need to move this optical. Anyway, all the physical hardware, graphics cards, optical drives, hard drives, RAM, pretty much sits in here. Most of the RAM sits in the bin, parts and everything. Oh, good, there's a net in here. Fabulous. Cat's going to attack it now. I have all my games over here. Games and boxed copies of stuff. It's not much. Then I have books. Lots and lots of books. I was actually trying to equal the books, and that didn't work. Oh, and yeah, then I have external drives up here. External drives and mice. Mice and peripherals you can plug in. Then we have more books, laundry, papers. There's my Power Mac. I have blankets, Legos in that bin, more Legos in that drawer. I do have collapsible bins, but the dumb thing is I thought these would fold flat completely. Unfortunately, they fold standing up like that. What else? What else is new? I have rerouted the power cord a bit. I have reorganized the crap out of my closet. So I have my phone charger over here. My phone, I've never been able to use as a nightstand until now because it was always covered in crap. But I now have a rule to put my phone there instead of underneath my pillow, because that's usually where I've been using it. I have extra floppies over there. More floppies. I have the hardware in there, floppy disks. In the cabinet is all my clothes. What else? Oh, and yeah. Found a place to put all my monitors. All 9 of them. The HP just kind of hangs. I have the Dell, I have a Samsung, another, that's an LG. Dell, LG, LG and Dell. No, that's a Sony and that's a Dell. Now, I did really reorganize my closet. When I say organize, I mean legitimately. You can see it has been revamped. Oh, and yeah, if anyone else does this with their cords, I find it very convenient. The only downside is when you need to pull a cord down, you tend to pull more than what you want. But it does prevent you from getting kinks a lot. You just kind of hang them on the rods. It's very convenient. I do have spare boxes up here. I did pick up another TV from Goodwill as well. This one's a nice small size. Resolution of 1024 by 768, so it's a nice small monitor. I have all my laptops on this shelf here. I have all my desktops below it, including my 98 machine. I've got a new Optiplex. I got a media center. I do have this nice, I don't know if I've done this on video, but I have a nice Apple Studio display here. It has stage lighting effect going on here. There's 2 stage light spots. If I were to show it on video, you'll see what I mean. It kind of is bad. And on this side, I've got the Behemoth. Behemoth and extra drawer storage. More Legos and more stuff, and just after all, a lot. But the Behemoth has been decommissioned mostly. I've taken most of the drives out of it at this point. I've been using it mainly for RAID burns. Mostly, if I need to burn, as in RAID burns, I mean open multiple disk images and burn each one to a different drive. Not literal RAID. And in my nightstand, I pretty much just got, make sure there's nothing there. Just kind of some miscellaneous junk I've unsorted. Yeah, everything's pretty much cleaned up. I mean, I do have a Tecra to make a video of. The Tecra, I have the Inspiron that I recently acquired. I have the Inspiron. Is the cat underneath my bed again? Yes. Yes, he is. Well, hello, sir. Yes, you're on video now. Yeah, the recent computers I've acquired was another Dell Dimension. I acquired the Optiplex. That's recent. The HP I don't think I've talked about. I do need to make another video about this HP laptop, and this is for very specific reasons I won't go into just yet. But I do need to kind of redo what I said about my other ones. I do have, let's see, the PowerBook I need to make a video of. I have before, but I need to make a new one. Another video, I do have a VHS player and a tape player, as well as an iMac logic board, which I need to get rid of. This is for a slot load, an actual slot load. This is a DV, because it has wireless. I've got miscellaneous parts. Another, I tend to, when I get rid of laptops, I keep the boards for parts. So this one's from oh goodness, what Dell? This was a Toshiba satellite, somethings. It's essentially the Toshiba satellite on top of this, and then I have the keyboard for the Dell. I tend to keep logic boards, and I have the Power Edge. The Power Edge is gone, as the housing is. But I have the logic board still because I have the Windows 10 product key tied to it, so I'm hanging on to that until I want to pull the product key from it. I have the, I recently got a Transformer book and then broke it, and then I fixed it. Yeah, funny story about the Transformer book. I had it in my book bag in between some textbooks, and I hit my brakes in my car too hard, and I had the bag in the back seat of my car. Bag flipped, hit the bottom of the floor of my car. When I got home, I took the tablet out, and the whole touchscreen was shattered. I'm just like, I can't have anything nice, and that was probably after 3 months of only owning it, and I managed to break it. So after, I think it was maybe $25 for a touchscreen, I ordered a new touchscreen. Mind you, I didn't order the screen assembly, I just ordered the digitizer. I highly, highly recommend, if you have the money, order the whole assembly. Don't go for the digitizer unless you want pain. Because it was a pain to get that digitizer off. There's a lot of adhesive all around this. There's a lot. Also, you'll have to sever your wireless antenna, or the there's a metallic tape that connects the frame to the antenna. I cut it. My antenna signal, it's not terrible, but it's slightly, it's I want to say minute. It's a minute difference, but it's slightly noticeable. Sometimes at a certain angle I will lose a bar or two previous when I didn't. It's also running Windows 10 Pro Education, which is kind of not what I want it to run, but who cares? It's running Windows 10. Oh yeah, I had a new rule I assigned, as every machine, again, I said latest, so all my machines, including the Opiplex, yes, the Opiplex is running Windows 10. So this one had Windows 98 and XP. I'm going to have to fix this one again, because I took the 98 drive and crammed it back in the iMac. But all machines are running the latest unless the hard drive is too small. So if the hard drive is like, say a 20 gig, then I'm going to put XP on it, because there's not enough space. There's not enough room, unfortunately. So what else? I've also got an iPhone 5. This one I actually managed to downgrade to iOS 8. I actually wanted to go back to iOS 6, but I don't see a point. Now when iOS 10 finally gets dropped from extended support, I call it extended support, I will probably put iOS 10 back on this and put all my apps to sync it with everything else. Same with the 4S. I had my fun with iOS 9 or iOS 6, but it was time to put it back to iOS 9. Let me clear this real quick before I show this on video. Yeah, it is back on iOS 9. Just kind of the thing. It doesn't run too bad once you let it boot. I have learned the second you unlock it to immediately relock it and let it sit for about 5 minutes before using it, because it will freeze. My 4 is still working. I did get another iPhone 4. I did get a 6. I have a 5S. It's probably dead. Yeah, it's dead. So here's my other 4 I got. This is my stepmom's 4. Is it also very dead? Yes. My 4 also dead? Yes. Tons of Blackberries. I do have my S6 is still floating in here somewhere. I do have an Apple Watch. It's dead. I have to plug it in. I know. I never plug anything in when I need it. Everything's dead. Always. Always, always, always. What else can I talk about? Oh yeah, I've changed my mind about my all-booting MacBook. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention when I was installing XP, and I formatted my Mac side of stuff. I luckily did have a time machine, but here's the thing. When I installed modified copies of macOS, it took those into consideration into the time machine backup. So what it wants is a machine that'll run Mojave to restore to. And my MacBook, of course, it can't run Mojave, so I can't do a restore from time machine. I also can't do Migration Assistant either. So I have to manually grab all my stuff and put it back. So I'm like, I'm done. Done. And I put El Capitan on it in Windows 10 and called it a day. I also put my optical drive back, even though for some reason on my MacBook, the optical drive, when it starts to, my computer gets warm, it fails to read at all. It just spits out every single disk you throw at it, it won't read. If the machine is cold started, like it's not even warm to the touch, it will read fine, but once it warms up, I don't know why it refuses. It also sounds like it farts. Oh, my camcorder's gonna die. What else could I talk about? I do have a PlayStation 2 Slim sitting up here. I don't know what to do with it. I don't have a power supply for it. Oh yeah, that's right. I should go talk about that. I recently fixed our Wii as well. Oh, and yeah, here's the iMac. Still dead. It is on. Currently, it is, I'm remoting into it. The display doesn't work at all. It doesn't even kick in. I do see it kind of, without the backlight kicking in, I kind of see it refresh briefly when I turn it on. But other than that, nothing happens. So right now, I just have it connected literally to power and internet. And I'm just using it to back up my photos and sync my Macs and stuff. So if one of my Mac drives gets full, I just dump everything on the 2 terabyte drive. My Time Machine drive, which I have, luckily, I have, oh, and if you haven't noticed, poor behemoth, or no, supercomputer has died. We were using an AS Rock board, and it was the Extreme 9 or whatever it was. It was the series where the power, one of the power modules on the board would go. And unfortunately, the computer would randomly shut off, and now it just won't turn on at all. At some point, I was to the point where I kept flicking the back power switch and hitting the front at the exact same time, trying to get it to kick over. So, unfortunately, we have a genuine key attached to it, so we have to figure out how to pull the key from it. I don't know. We don't know how to yet. But it's kind of sad to see it go. So I've been taking parts from it. So I took the video card and crammed that in my Dell. I kind of took some of the drives. I mean, a dead machine, I'm going to take the parts. Damn it. Even if it's dead, I'm going to take parts from it. I did, however, clean up the desk before it died. Oh, there's Buzz. But yeah, that's kind of sad. So the iMac is going to take its space right now. So, yeah. I have my Power Mac. I now upgraded it to 764 megs of RAM. It was 640, but now it's a little higher, so it's almost to a gig. We're getting there. PC 100. Originally, what I wanted to do with the hallway machine was turned into a home server, so everyone can store some stuff remotely onto it. I was trying to figure out how to share an entire hard drive to say the network, but at some point we figured out just add a folder inside the hard drive and just share that instead. And then, let me see. I don't know if I talked about this PlayStation or not. Now, we do have consoles. I do play games, but I do take long breaks from them. Meaning I kind of get bored and I move on. So I did fix the Wii. Oh, let me turn the light on. We have new lights, too. They do get bright. I did clean stuff up. I have been collecting games for the PlayStation 2. We have the original Xbox, no AV cord and no controllers. Xbox 360, which we do still use every once in a while. Xbox One, and then, now before anyone could say anything, I did put the Wii on top of non-vented part of the Xbox, and it seems to be just fine. The vents are on the right, beyond the black. I did make sure it was exactly, the Wii is almost a perfect fit since it's on top of that vent just fine. It does read discs fine, and I did homebrew it because I was one of the fortunate people who watched the last hours of the Wii Shop channel, even though I never bought anything. We had, I think it was 2,600 points. Yeah, a lot of points. I spent them on something, I don't remember what. Even though it was kind of pointless, I just wanted to spend them because I thought, oh, it's going to be a waste of money. But yeah, then on this side we have, I think I'll just store it. Yeah, just storage. Nothing here, just PlayStation games. What's funny is I went to Goodwill to go I found San Andreas. I came home, opened the case, no disc. Kind of ironic. Most stolen game ever. Haha. I do have Forza Horizon 4. I have some games. I gotta go to those batteries. It's probably no good. What else? So I haven't almost done yet. I would like to eat at some point. My camcorder's gonna die. Hi, Romulus. Trying to show too much important stuff on camera. Is this thing done? Oh, it's at 400 now. I didn't even hear it. Hold on. Cancel this. Let me go ahead and put the pizza in the oven. Really quickly. Let me angle the camera at myself so at least I'm not looking like a buffoon. Okay, how do I open this? Which side? I do question a lot of stuff, so I struggle with a lot of stuff. Basically, I go, it says what pan, and I go, well, what type of pan? It says put in pan. Well, I want specific. Okay, I think it opens on the other side. Yes. Yeah, opens that way. I grabbed the tray. Now, Stephanie told me was we put the thing in with the tray. I've learned to just put it in without the tray, just because. Anyway, I mean, it doesn't. Everyone has their own way of doing things, and this is my way I've learned. Let me go and get this open. Now, they're already home already? No. So they're going to get home late. Anyway, they're out for tonight. I mean, one time's I actually talk about things on camera. Kind of awkward to let my parents on camera. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Stephanie. Sorry, guys. I mean, it's okay if you're on camera, but I do kind of feel awkward. I mean, because mainly it's my personal channel, and I kind of talk about random stuff. Anyway. Okay, so how long does it want me to throw it in again? I'm going to throw all this away before I do anything else. Throw this out. I'm trying to fix my habit of forgetting things and trying to do stuff right there and then. So let's see. It's cook for directly on center of oven rack. It says right there, place center directly. 22 to 25, so about 2330 should be about right. Yeah, 2330. Oh, God. Whatever was in here is pretty much burned up. Alright, stick it in for 2330. So let's see. Timer 2330. Start. Alright, I'll be back in about 23 minutes. 23 and a half. Oh, yeah, that is that. Oh, yep, never ate the bologna. I'll just throw it away now. Sorry, Stephanie. I do feed him bologna every once in a while. I'm not supposed to. He doesn't eat it sometimes, so I just throw it away. What else? Oh, well, I think that's pretty much recaps pretty much everything that's been going on and why I'm not making new videos and stuff, because I just don't really know what to talk about. Anyway, I do have this nice, I finally decided to change the keyboard too. So I changed it to, this is an older one, this is my one my dad's been using. And he got a new keyboard, and then I got it, and then I got a new keyboard, and this is where it ended up. The keyboard we were using was a Microsoft keyboard that we've been using for almost 10 years. I still have it too, unfortunately. Like, the keyboard still works, I'm going to keep it. Should be that keyboard right here, this one. That's one we've been using for so long. It still works, so why get rid of it? What did I step on? So yeah, that's pretty much a recap of pretty much everything major that's been going on. I gotta make videos about stuff, but I'm not gonna script stuff because it just gives me a headache and I procrastinate and I just don't want to. So I'm just gonna do it on the fly, like I always do. If kitties aren't gonna go in the window anymore, I'm gonna close the window. It's closed now. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, it didn't shut all the way. Oh, darn you. It sounded like it did. Oh, and yes, I do keep magnets on the hinge. It's the only place I can keep them safely without accidentally, yeah, I don't know where else to put it. So I just kind of stick them there on the windows so they're easy to magnetize tools and erase things on the fly. The only place I can remember. I always think every time I open the shutters they're going to fall off. They never do. Yeah, let me drink my water. So this will be kind of an update video here about what's going on. I'll probably call it a different perspective. There's nothing else new. I wish I had my Windows 3.1 book. Oh yeah, I did find the manual for the 3D Home Architect finally, so that does come in handy. Anyway, that pretty much caps everything I've been up to. There's not much else new. Literally, I don't know what else to talk about at all. Whatsoever. Oh, that's right. I'll talk about this in another video, but I do have this very unique piece of hardware that probably not very many people do own. I have this little guy. I don't know if I talked about it before, but this is essentially a Windows, I'm going to call it a Windows CE device, or Windows Embedded. It's not very usable, but because of the power, it takes one of the small Molexes, which is bizarre, so I have to daisy chain it off a normal computer's power supply. It's just kind of weird. But it's a Windows PE device. It did have a hard drive. I did fry it, unfortunately. I plugged it in improperly and it, bam, gone. It's got like 16 megs of RAM. Not even that. Probably 2. It's covered in dust now. But yeah, if anyone else has one of these and knows exactly what type of board this thing is, and what really, I mean, this one looked like, I pulled it from a box and it had like golf software on it, like for a golf course and a golf cart, you know, the map software when you see how far the hole is and stuff. It had that on the hard drive. Other than that, what were these things used for? And could you get them exactly like this? Because this is kind of ridiculous looking. It also hurts. Yeah, that's pretty much everything that's been going on. I have a lot of floppies and other stuff. I've got spare phone parts. I do need to get a new Windows phone. I decided to try and clean the digitizer or whatever it was, and I broke the display. So it's in pieces, and I'm not throwing it away because I have stuff that's actually important on the board. Unfortunately, I have a lot of passwords and stuff, so I'm not just going to throw it away. I know I could snap the board, but someone could still get the chips off, and you know, I would like to have my stuff back. Yeah, I mean, oh and yeah, I got a SparkQ drive, which doesn't work. I hope something's not on fire right now. Oh, and here's another thing. I told my dad I wanted for Christmas was a bag of SIM cards, and legitimately, none of these are active. I legitimately got a bag of SIM cards, which I have sorted to AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, TracFone, and then miscellaneous. Yeah, so now if I get any more phones in my collection, I now have spare SIMs to cram in, because I never have enough SIM cards for phones. So now I have too many. Thank you, Dad. Too many. But yeah, that pretty much sums up everything that's been going on. I mean, there's not much else new. Oh, and yeah. Collection of Apple boxes in the back there. I didn't show you that. There's a lot. I have a lot of iPhone boxes. People want to throw them out, and I go, nope, I'll take that. Please don't. Why are you texting me now? No, I get an email too. So yeah, original optical adapter to the Power Mac. I'm pretty much done. I don't know what else to talk about. So yeah, I'm going to work on another video here in a second. All right.